Welcome aboard, everyone. My name is Tech Raider Omega, and welcome back to Disturb. Now, funny story, I just got a little bit further in this game, and then I looked back at the recording, and it wasn't recording audio because I'm a genius. So, we're gonna do this again. We're going to inspect the well, or continue on. So, inspect the well. You peer down the well. Other than the evident water at the bottom, there is a coin resting against the wall of the well. If possible, you feel you should go down and take the coin. Grab the coin or leave. Well, you lean over the edge of the well. There is no possible way you can obtain the coin by reaching for it. With this in mind, you turn and climb down along the inner wall of the well. You take a few successful steps down, but your luck runs out. You misplace your foot and you fall. Holy shit, it is foggy outside. God, it looks like I'm in Silent Hill. Jeez. You misplace your foot and you fall. Tumbling about, your body clashes against the stone walls. With a single knock on the head, you lose all consciousness of your accident. With a splash, you fall into the water. Your body sinks effortlessly and you drown without realizing it. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys everything I've seen because, again, I legendarily fucked up. So, continue on. Walking over the hills of grass and grain, you reach the walls of Aramore. Several times a year, you come here to trade goods from the farm. You discover the plague that has spread to your farm has also spread all the way out here. The path before you is overrun with blight. Continue across, or go back. Continue across. You have come a long way and you don't desire to turn back now. You march forward into the tainted soil. Before you can realize what happened, you sink completely under the ill soil. Darkness consumes you and your lungs struggle for air. Your body burns in pain as you suffocate and die. Your adventure ends here. Yeah, that happened last time. Anyways, so this time, I know what I'm supposed to do, and it did occur to me, it does involve the thing, because, inside of the tower, the statue on the left is pointing to the sky, but that's actually a 1. The statue on the right has 2 fingers left, and I didn't know how that corresponded to the knobs, and then I realized, 1 on the left, 2 on the right. And, yeah, so this would be a lot more interesting if I didn't know now. The knobs lock in place. You hear the rumbling of rocks as the ground starts to shift underneath you. Everything goes dark and you sink below the surface. The hole above you seals up, trapping you underground. You find yourself with no evident way out but the path before you into the darkness. Your only choice is to move forward. Now, I've explored every route here, but I'm going to show you all of them anyways. You see 3 separate paths within the walls of the cavern. Which path do you choose? The saving path. Alright, we're gonna go left first. You cautiously make your way through the darkness. You come to a split in paths. Which way do you go? We're gonna go left. You move forward into the darkness. And then it takes you back here. Going left and then going right is the actual path. And I know that, but so we're gonna go forward because I want to show you guys all the shit that I managed to get into while the audio wasn't working. You cautiously step forward into the darkness. You come to a divide. Which way do you go? Left or right? Let's go right. You hear a subtle echo of shifting rocks before you. An eye appears before you as its gaze pierces the darkness. Before you can do anything, tentacles burst from the ground and grip your body. It pulls you about, but you resist as much as you can. Not sure what you can do, you continue to resist until you can think of something. Your body begins to grow weak as your strength burns away. You suddenly feel yourself pulled to the ground and you are dragged about like a rag doll. It is not long before the creature devours your body, leaving nothing behind. Your adventure ends here. And I do know how you're supposed to beat that thing. Going left, going the either way will get you killed until you do something else. So let's go right. The passageway divides before you. Where do you go? Left? You walk forward into the dark, unsure of what lies beyond. 2 paths you may go. Which do you choose? Left? You move forward into the dark. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so, I said I've been every way. Yeah, this cavern loops back on itself. So this time we're gonna go right. The passageway soon ends with an enlarged mushroom sitting in front of you. A steady river of water flows between you and the mushroom. Inspect the mushroom. You walk toward the mushroom as if there was something more than what meets the eye. Walking forward, you take a step into the water. To your dismay, your foot hits no bottom and you fall in. You reach to grab hold of the edge of the surface, but your body freezes stiff. You lose your sight completely as the chilling water sends your body into shock. Without any sense of touch and warmth, your lifeless body sinks into the darkness. Your adventure ends here. So, yeah, that happens. So, have I gone forward yet? Yeah, going forward takes you to the main statue thing. So we're gonna go left, and then right is the path we need to go to. As you make your way forward, you discover a large cavern. An old-looking ship rests against the edge of the lake, with debris scattered about the surrounding area. Inspect the ship. You cautiously walk down toward the ship. The air is chilling, and you fear it won't be a good idea to stay too long. The possibility of discovering something that can help you drives you to explore. You climb aboard the ship. As you take a moment to observe your surroundings, you are only welcomed by the trickle of water brushing against the wood of the ship. You move about to see where you can go. Every footstep you take feels heavy as you hear the sound of wood cracking under your feet. You feel the ship has been here for quite some time. You explore under the deck of the ship. Nothing but the sound of your footsteps bounce about the structure of the ship. From one room to another, you come to discover a kitchen. Although there is nothing unique about it, you feel you should take a moment to inspect it. Inspect the drawers or inspect the oven. Inspect the drawers. You pull one out after another, finding that they have been emptied. Dust spreads about the air as you disturb their rest. Checking underneath, you discover a rusty knife resting on the floor. You find that there are plenty of hardened rat droppings dotting the edge of the wall. You take the knife in hopes that you may defend yourself with it. Inspect the oven. You see a lone pot resting upon the dusty stovetop. You gaze downward and open the oven door. Nothing but ash fill the oven chamber. Yeah, at this point onward, the game's editing seems to have gone down. Like, there's a lot more problems with, the text. You close the oven door, and then we move on. You continue your lonely tour of the ship, only to find that there is nothing of use or value. You make your way back to the deck and decide to continue your search. Again, you find nothing much but empty rooms, left to remain in dark solitude. You discover a door with fancy markings about the woodwork. Perhaps this is where the captain resided. You discover the room of the captain. Oh, good call. Unlike the other parts of the ship, everything seems to have been left alone in this room. Before you rests an old wooden desk with papers and assumed belongings of the captain. There is a small bed off near the corner of the room, and some chairs in the other. You have a feeling deep down that you shouldn't take anything. Other than the lamp and other objects, there is a small stack of papers in contrast to a lone paper resting by itself. Approaching the desk, you begin to inspect the papers resting on the desk. Stack of papers. Peering about the pages of this collective pile of documents, you realize that most of these are personal notes or journal entries. You pick a few and begin to read. Day 7. The voyage has gone quite smooth as we begin our second week away from home. The spirits of the men are high as we anticipate the discovery of new lands that lie beyond our documented knowledge. It has been my dream to accomplish something world-changing. Together we move forward with full hearts and unbreakable spirits. Day 66. It has been just over 2 months out at sea, and we have yet to discover anything new. We have suffered through many storms, and sickness has plagued the ship recently. Several of my favored crew have passed on to the next life. I see the growing doubt in the eyes of my fellow laborers as our voyage continues day after day. Food rations have been cut in half in fears that we may have to turn back. I dare not let myself think of failure. Those men who have lost their lives, the sacrifices to make this voyage possible, I cannot let them be in vain. Day 91. It has come to roughly 3 months out here on the Endless Blue. With much pain, we have turned around. Yes, we are headed for Homeport, We have just enough food to make it back. I just hope we have a smooth journey back. The spirits of the crew are low and bitter due to our failure. I do not let myself get caught up in thinking of it. Truly, we did not intend for this to happen. And then the loan document. Notice to the crew. Due to our unexpected predicament, everyone is being split up into groups of 2 and 3. Scouting assignments will be given until we find a more habitable place to settle. For now, we must do what we can. Seeing that there is little left to see, you take your leave. The wood under your feet clackle as you exit the vessel. You make your way back to where the tunnel divides. Alright, well, we're gonna go left because that takes me back to the start. And then we're going to go left. Oh, wait, no, I screwed up. We're gonna go left again because I have to go straight again. This thing. You come to a divide, which way do you go? We're gonna go... I don't remember which way, honestly. We're gonna go left. You hear a subtle echo, an eye appears before you, yeah, and it tries to get freaky with me. You remember the knife you have found and struggle to bring it out. With success, you hold the knife and begin to cut away the appendages that bind you. The room vibrates as you do cut, and the creature immediately leaves you alone. It takes you a moment to catch your breath. You come to a divide, which way do you go? Okay, so we're gonna try and go left. You continue your way into the darkness. Wait, no, that was stupid. We're gonna go right. The path you walk comes to an end. Before you shines a pillar of light. The light rests on a corpse that seems to have been here for quite some time. Near the corpse stands a lone flower. For some reason, you feel hope enter your heart as you gaze upon the flower. There is something special about the scene, but you can't put your finger on it. Perhaps it may be best to leave in reverence for now. You come to a divide, which way do you go? Oh. I fucked up. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, so apparently I hadn't... On the save I loaded, because I fucked up and saved over the other slot, I hadn't talked to the ghost guy yet, so... Oh, this time, this should work. Okay, for you, near the corpse stands a lone flower. Surely this flower will ease the pain of the specter. There we go. You approach the flower and carefully pluck it from the ground. There is something special about this flower. Yeah, it's very subtle, isn't it? Light continues to pierce through the darkness from an opening above. Surely this gives you some hope that all is not lost. Seeing that there is nothing else for you here, you turn around. Alright, so we're gonna go left because it takes us back. And we're gonna go left and then right to get out of here. You struggle forward as the way before you becomes completely dark. You notice that there is a light off in the distance and you continue to make your way forward. Eventually, you make it into some sort of concrete room. Turning around, you see a hole in the wall where you came from. Your guess is that it wasn't part of the initial design. No shit. You turn around to see a door. There being little to nothing in the room, you decide to move on through the doorway. You find yourself in what looks like a basement. You turn about to discover that in each direction there is a door. Boxes of supplies and debris litter the floor and corners of the room. You notice that there are several markings on the doors and floor, some of which scare you. You got a bad feeling about this place, so enter the right door, middle door, left door, door behind me, or the supplies. You walk about the room, browsing through the dust-covered storage. You find some rope in one of the boxes. It feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. Yeah, I would think so. So we're going to go through the right door. You enter a small room. There is a large cauldron in the center of the room with wood resting beneath. There is nothing on the shelves as if someone cleaned this place out. You look into the pot but find nothing in it. With nothing else to see, you exit the room. Left door... Left door. Yeah, this is the room that way just takes you back to the tunnel. Okay, so we're gonna save and then enter the middle door. You enter a room full of metal cages. Before you is a hallway marked with questionable markings. You don't like the feeling you have about this place. Whatever was in these cages surely did not like to be locked up. No shit. You notice that there is an animal in the cage on the left of the room, but from the dark stains on its fur, it is dead. You cautiously walk down the hallway, entering a room with 2 cell doors. Yeah, before you can do anything, a large hound leaps out in front of you. That does not look like any kind of hound I've seen. The beast doesn't look very vicious, but one wrong move can surely be the end of you. You pull out the knife and prepare for an attack. The dog reacts and starts to growl at you. The hound dashes at you and sinks its teeth into you. Even with the knife, you merely cut the beast before it knocks the knife out of your hand. You don't survive long and die a painful death. Your adventure ends here. Yes, I did try that without the knife. You die anyways. So, the actual thing we're supposed to do is I did inspect the supplies. Okay, good. We're gonna enter the door behind us. You walk up the steps. You enter a large room. The air is polluted with dust and spiderweb cover the walls and ceiling. Where should you go now? We're gonna go forward. Forward, upstairs, downstairs, the far door, or go outside. Going outside we will do later. Upstairs we will do in a bit, but first we're gonna go through the far door. The door struggles to move, but you enter into what appears to be a spider's den. The air is thick and the room is a mess of... Whoa, Jesus. The room is a mess of web and body parts. You notice that there are a couple of items in the room that could be useful. If nothing else, there is a key on the ground that you will no doubt need. Before you can even act, a large spider falls from above. You have no doubt that it is hungry. Without hesitation, the spider attacks you. You pull out your knife and stab the spider when you can. Unfortunately, the knife doesn't scare the spider, and it bites you with ease. You begin to lose feeling all over your body, and everything goes black. Your adventure ends here. So yes, I was eaten by a giant spider. So this time we're gonna go upstairs. You discover what looks like a private library. There is a passageway before you with bookcases on the left and right. Move forward, browse the books, or go back downstairs. We're gonna browse the books. You take a moment to look at the books. Some of them catch your eye. Rituals of the Ancients, Deception by Music, or A Forgotten Power. So we're going to do Rituals of the Ancients. You flip around until something grabs your attention. Pillars of Stone. Years before current times, there were unique religious practices that revolved the Stonehenge. It is said that these stones are lined up in a special way and often organized in a circular pattern. Organizing the stones this way unlocks an ancient power researchers still have trouble understanding. In the middle of the circle would be a stone or two for the keystone to rest on. This is the great mystery of this ancient practice. From ancient records, it is written that the energies from the surrounding stones channeled their power into the keystone. You stop reading because the next page of the book has been torn out. Deception by Music. There is a bent page marking a section of the book. You turn to it. The art of charming is not necessarily limited to the instrument, but how the musician goes about playing given instrument. Some are definitely easier to use than others, and for a skill such as this, there are a few instruments recommended. The harp is one of these recommended instruments. From vicious dogs to shy unicorns, subtle, the soothing voice of the harp can calm the troubled heart. Of course, not all creatures can fall for this simple trick, but it can mean the difference between life and death in some situations. A Forgotten Power. Flipping through the pages, there is one in particular that has ink markings all over it. Raw energy is a powerful substance not to be trifled with. It is merely myth that such energies exist. One does not simply stumble upon a pillar of godly power. Even if such a fate is yours, bare hands cannot contain the force. It must be bent and channeled into a specially crafted vessel to carry it. There have been accounts across time of individuals possessing such power. Although they pass away as sand... That didn't make sense to me. Although they pass away as sand, their relics of power remain as powerful artifacts that nations around the world would fight for. Alright, so we're gonna stop touching those and we're gonna move forward. You walk up more stairs. You pause as you notice a stone carving of a person praying that is attached to the wall. There is something odd about it, but you can't put your finger on it. With caution, you continue up the stairs. You enter a strange room with a large globe centered about the room. There are windows that let the light shine through. You notice that there is a chest resting against the wall to the right. You also notice that there is another passageway like the previous room. Save, and then we're gonna open the chest. Approaching the chest, you notice there is a lock fastened to it. With no key to unlock the chest, you decide to leave it alone. Inspect the globe. You study the globe attached to the floor surface. The craft is made of metal, and there is fine detail in the grooves. There are various markings and names scattered across the globe. It takes you a moment, but you find a marking of where you are, Aramor. You notice that there are some hand-drawn markings within the area, made with black ink. There must be something close by that has interested the author of these markings. Also, it's probably Aramor, but I kind of like Aramor more. To add to the mystery, there are similar markings on other areas around the globe. Alright, continue forward. You climb the stairs to find a wall ending your path. Above the end of the stairway is a hatch. We're gonna save. I know how this goes. We're gonna open the hatch. You open the hatch and pull yourself up. You have made it to the top of the tower. Before you is a stone of power, resting upon an altar of rock. Dark vines have entangled the structure, as if they were feeding off the energies of the stone. Your body begins to tremble as you stand before the stone. You definitely feel weaker being up here, as if the stone is sapping your energy. Yeah, did the same thing when I was asleep at the start. Destroy the stone or leave the stone. Well, let's destroy it. This may be your only chance. You approach the stone and grasp onto it. You lose sight and feeling immediately as your hands become glued to the stone. Your life is drained from your body. Only bones remain to testify of your death. Your adventure ends here. Yeah, and the leaving is probably interesting. You turn and begin to exit through the hatch. To your surprise, you find it difficult to focus. You suddenly fall down through the hatch, it closing behind you. You hit on your head and tumble down the stairs like a ragdoll. With a broken neck, you struggle to live, only to die moments later. Your adventure ends here. Okay, so... Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I am all out of time. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you stop by again sometime, and I'll see you then if you do. Goodbye.